the whole thing is that they needed somebody, you know, a pitcher for a movie that was coming shooting. And Under Armour usually does the stuff for movies, and so it's like the guy from Under Armour, Mark Ellis, he needed some players, and so he needed big guys trying out for baseball. And so we went up there since the team is associated with Under Armour, and it just happened to be I happened to read the lines and did the throwing and stuff, and they liked my personality, they liked the look, so they put me on to the movie, which is called How Do You Know? Well, you know, Owen Wilson, Reese Witherspoon, you know, Paul Rudd, and Jack Nicholson is one of the actors in it too. So it's one of those that it was just a weird situation. And then I get there, and I thought I was just going to be throwing, and then I throw we do some things most of that day at the Nationals ballpark in the bullpen, and everything was cool. We're shooting the movie, and then they have pulled me in and tell me, hey, we're going to go over and you're going to shoot some more in the training room. And then I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool too. So I'll stay a little bit longer, make a little extra money, and then next thing you know, but 3 or 4 weeks later, after that shooting that day, they called me back and said they wanted me to be a feature extra on the movie. So that was when it really started to kind of take off a little bit. So it was exciting, and it's one of those things that, like, when we got there, we started shooting at Philly at Drexel University, and then I started to learn a little bit about it. And the greatest point about it was just like I had to act like a baseball player at a party. So it was pretty simple because I had pretty much done that most of my life anyway. When you talk about going to clubs and going different places, so it wasn't that hard. It was just different dealing with it. It's a different world, but I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a great thing. You know, it's one of those things that they could cut all the scenes, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Hopefully they don't, you know what I mean? Because I'm in enough of the scenes with Owen and Paul Rudd that hopefully it's like I'm in enough of those party scenes with them that, you know, you at least get a glimpse. But it was good to where I was around these guys, and it was fun because to be able to see how they work and how they do it. And, like, it's one of those things I think that I would enjoy doing sometime in the future. But hopefully most of them, like I said, I was telling her I could be on it for like 20 seconds, or I could probably get a 5-10 minutes total in there in the movie. So that's pretty cool, you know. And just to have that exposure would be a pretty good thing. And just like, you know, it was one of those things that I was able to earn a contract for the movie. So hopefully the movie gets fairly big and they can sell rights overseas and all that kind of stuff, so we can possibly, you know, make a living doing some things like that. At the parties and like and different things that we did at the ballpark and things like that. There were guys that played baseball, like, but as far as like being a professional, yeah, I was the only guy that was around us at that time. Now I don't know if they're going to add people later or different things are going to happen when it comes to, you know, maybe some celebrity guys coming in there at certain times, you know. But it was pretty good to be able to be like the one guy that was on set that actually knew what was going on about what happens in these certain situations and things like that. And it was cool because some of the people there would ask me, well, Corey, what would you guys be doing a little bit more here? And what would you be doing here? And these are people who are second and third ADs, and they're asking me different things. And I'm like, well, you know, we would actually be doing this instead of this. And you know what, that wouldn't look like that. And like, you know, and just certain things. And so I was able to get a little input. So hopefully it turns out to where, you know, some of the stuff that I use in that, like hopefully my face and different things that I'm throwing in the bullpen will come to show on camera. And so at 17, I had to make a choice about being an athlete, you know. But now looking at the rest of my life and how the path could go, like this acting thing, it would be something that I'd like to do because, you know, you can act forever, you know what I mean? As long as you can still talk and hold your own on screen, you can act. So it'd be something for the second half of my life that hopefully, you know what I mean, I still want to be involved with baseball, but I would love to do this if it's another avenue that opened up.
Completely support him 110%. I mean, Corey is he's so dynamic as far as he can be an athlete, he can be on screen, he could run for office someday. I mean, he just has that personality, and I support him in whatever he wants to do. It's very exciting.
I appreciate it. Thank you.